What's going on, people? What is going on? You are tuning in to the Heavy Hitters Wednesday live on the Heavy Hitters channel. Let's get it. Oh, oh, hey, what's going on, people? What is going on, people?
Switch it,
Mother, man, man, you
switch
don't
it.
get your superstitious ass on somewhere,
I,
brother.
you
What
know,
you
hey,
doing?
you know how. Look, we gotta switch it. All right, I'm comfortable. I'm calm now. I'm nice and calm. Mellow Mike.
Anyway, what's going on, people? What's going on, man? Hey, man, you tune in to the Heavy Hitters over here live on the Heavy Hitters channel. I am your host, the Six Man K Styles. To my stage left, the, he's already started, y'all. This is the Senator Palpatine in the building.
What's
And
happening, y'all? Right.
we got below me, we got the Don and Summer Hill Nightmare in the building.
It's showtime, folks.
And we got the minister, the calm before the storm. We got Jew Talk Sports was happening. And today's special guest, we're gonna let my man's over here on Goofy over his damn stage left on his side. We're gonna let you introduce yourself, my man. How you doing, man? Go ahead, talk to the people.
Oh yeah, I am James Yarko, one of the hosts of Locked On Bucks, deputy editor of BucksNation.com, and stepping into enemy territory. And Palpatine, I have to assume that you wanted to switch spots on the screen just because you see Mando in the background here, and I'm repping Star Wars, so
Whoa!
you got all six.
Okay, okay. This guy, he look. I dig you. Okay, we're gonna have to get you back just based on that alone. All right.
Yeah, I got all six Thrawn novels on the shelf above my head that you can't see.
Wow. Yeah, he won't look. Yeah, you a return guest already. All right. We might even think about paying next time. He won me over just with that. Look, I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. Okay.
You and me both, man. That's what we're here
Huh?
for.
Hey man, hey look, that's a future episode right there. Start talking about some TV. But as we already said, man, look, we gonna do this right. Like you say, it is rivalry week. As we already know, it's gonna be a very interesting matchup between the Falcons and Buccaneers this year. Only for the simple fact that situations have changed a little bit for the two teams this year. So it's gonna be um you got first place on the line in the division right now. And this is definitely a game that both teams gotta have. So,
Mhm.
James, we're gonna give you the blessing and let you kick us off on how you've been feeling about the Bucs season so far and what is your key to victory for them to beat the Falcons, man. So James, floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean the Bucks are pretty much on track with where I expected them to be at this point. A lot of people were really down on the Buccaneers. If you go back to episodes that I did right after Tom Brady retired on Locked On Bucks, I've been talking about Baker Mayfield being the right quarterback for this team all the way back in February. So I loved the addition of Baker Mayfield, despite kind of the outside consensus being that the Buccaneers were going to be terrible, right? It was Tom Brady retired, the team stinks. Well, no, they don't, because they still have Mike Evans. They still have Chris Godwin. They still have Tristan Wirfs and Devin White, Levante David, Villa Veda, Antoine Winfield Jr. I can go on and on and on. So I had gone into the season saying, look, this is still a team that's going to compete for first place in the division. This is still a team that's going to contend for that playoff spot coming out of the NFC South. And what a lot of people didn't take into consideration were the fact that the offensive line outside of Wirfs last year was constructed of second and third stringers and practice squad guys. They didn't take into account the injuries in the secondary and the issues that they dealt with there. So this is still a really talented football team. And you take a look at their 2 losses. They're two teams with a combined record of 10-2. Like, they're not losing to slouches. So this is still a very good, very competitive football team. But, one of I would say the main key to victory for the Buccaneers, and it's something that I talked about with Aaron Freeman of Locked On Falcons earlier today, is the ability of Mike Evans. Evans has explosive. Yeah, he's had some explosive games this year, and against the Falcons historically, he averages 82 yards a game. Chris Godwin averages 80, and Baker Mayfield, in his time with the Browns, even to some extent with the Panthers and the Rams, he's been really good at hitting the deep ball, and that connection just hasn't been there this year. But he's been targeting Trey Palmer and Devin Tompkins, and no shade towards them. They've been outstanding. Trey Palmer was one of the huge surprises coming out of training camp, and that chemistry isn't there. You have to let Mike Evans kind of be that deep ball guy, spread out the field, extend the field, and that also opens up things for Chris Godwin to be the money down guy, right? The third downs, the move the sticks guy. And going up against AJ Terrell, Jesse Bates, I've been a big fan of for a long time. That's a tough secondary. The Falcons are allowing the 4th fewest passing yards this year, so it's going to be a tall task. But let your big name marquee players make marquee plays and lean on Mike, lean on Chris to get that offense cooking way better than they did against the Lions last week.
Hey, that's very that's very, very interesting right there, man. Yeah, like you said, Bucs. I mean, I know you said they're kind of where they are as far as where you are. I know they've kind of surprised me a little bit, like you said, because like me, I'm not the biggest Baker Mayfield fan myself.
Tell the truth, Kel. Tell the truth.
I can't stand that.
No.
I can't stand him. But like you said, man, as far as them fighting and like you said, by having all that experience on that team as well, like you said, it's kind of carried them and it's been a very compelling season for Tampa Bay so far. So, like I said, that's why I give them credit at. So, but like with most people, we all thinking they was gonna be the bottom feeder of the division, they're playing well.
Mm-hmm.
You got to give them credit on that. So, Mike. All right, man. What you think of this game, and what's your key to victory to this game, man?
Patty cake, bakers, man. Patty cake, bakers, man. That's what we need to worry about. Patty cake, bake his ass. Okay, we need to bake his ass. That's what we need to do with. I was about to say Aaron Freeman. Aaron Freeman. Look, he's an enemy of mine. All right, he's a kind of he is the. How should I say this? I'm Senator Palpatine and he's Luke Skywalker. That's what he is to me. All right. So Aaron Freeman is a good guy, great guy, knowledgeable, one of those guys that I actually grew, one that kind of inspired me to start Mad Mike Sports and AFN. Good guy. But we need to bake his ass. The Falcons, he's one of those guys who suffered from injuries in the past showed the issues. But the biggest thing with Baker, if you get him on the move, he can kind of make some errant throws, try to do too much. So I think the Falcons with their defensive line mix up the pressures. With Ryan Nielsen has done a great job, but the Falcons can't get to home with a couple of guys. He dialed up some very exotic blitzes. He's used Richie Grant a lot towards the line of scrimmage and kind of mix and match those guys, DeMarco Hillams and Jesse Bates. You've seen those guys at free safety, strong safety, and certain packages. So I think the key to this game, key to this victory is they have to move Baker off the spot. If it gets comfortable inside the pocket, it's going to be a long day because, like you said, you have Godwin. Godwin has just been a nightmare for Atlanta. I don't know what it is, but he's been a nightmare for the Atlanta Falcons. Mike Evans is always going to do Mike Evans things, but I think if they move Baker off the spot, make sure he's constantly hit. David Onyemata is going to be an interesting take because I don't think that they're going to allow Grady Jarrett to be one-on-one, especially with the guard and center combination there. I know you're down the starting center for the most part, so I don't foresee them having Grady Jarrett one-on-one. So they have to get Baker off the spot, move him around, get hits. If they can do that, I think for the most part, I don't trust Jeff Okuda one-on-one with Mike Evans, but AJ and Godwin, that's going to be that's going to be a battle. I think that's where the money's going to be made. But the Falcons have to hit, and they have to move Baker off the spot in order to get the victory.
All right. Jew, go ahead, man. Jew, man, what you got? What you got this game on? How you?
Y'all know this is gonna be a huge game. Like you said, we playing for first place, and we going back to the scene of the crime. We know last time when we was in Tampa, the Phantom, roughing the passer. Yeah, so this is one of those games. My key to victory in this game is going to be for us to run the football. We haven't ran the football the way that we did the last 2 seasons. And in this game, I want to see us go back to that stretch running game. I want to see more plays with Keith Smith in the backfield. For whatever reason, we've kind of went away from this season. Keith Smith, being in the backfield and being that lead blocker. But I feel like in this game, it's going to be key to get the running game going. Tyler Algier, Bijan Robinson, they're going to have to be the players of the game because we know the Buccaneers, they like to pin their ears back, and they have 2 of the better inside linebackers in the league. Devin White and Levante David, Levante David been doing it for a very long time, but Devin White, he's been there ever since he's been there out of LSU. He's been one of those guys that tandem is really, really tough. And we know that Todd Bowles, he loves to bring pressure, especially against young quarterbacks. And the way that Desmond Ridder played last week, even though he threw for 300 yards, he had those 3 interceptions. And I expect them to heat him up in this game. Try to send all type of exotic blitzes. They'll blitz Winfield. They'll blitz corners. So in this game, I'm not trying to rely on Desmond Ridder. I understand our is trying to develop him in the passing game, and we've seen us throwing the ball 47 times last week. In this game, you got to get back to the blueprint of this offense, and that's running that football. But I want to see us do more of the stretch runs. I talked about this. I keep telling Mike and Kay off the show, we got to get back to that pistol and run that stretch zone running scheme. It creates so many gaps in the defense, and I really feel like against the Buccaneers, you want to keep those guys on their toes. So I think in this game, that's going to be the key is running the football. We got to get back to running that football. Right now, we've kind of been struggling the last couple of weeks.
Don't mind me, y'all. I'm sitting here drinking some lemon ginger tea, Mike.
I thought you was about to say you sipping on that baked juice. That's my bad. That was real. Yeah.
No.
That was real corny. I'm sorry for that. My bad.
Lord have mercy. Now I'm sipping on that lemon ginger tea. I know we watching. So I know. So James, I know you said with Baker, I know he's kind of and Mike Evans kind of like your guys that you watching on offense for Tampa Bay. Let the people know defensively who is a guy that you expecting to be the highlight on defense for this game.
Without a doubt, it's Antoine Winfield Jr. And through the first 4 games of the season, he was looking like a first-team All-Pro. He led the Buccaneers in tackles. He had 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 4 passes defensed, 2 of which were in the end zone. And I know a lot of Falcons cheered when he broke up what would have been a touchdown pass to Chris Olave in that Week 4 game. Because if there's one thing that Bucs fans and Falcons fans can really come together over, it's our hatred of the Saints. So, we have that going for us, that nice little alliance there. But Antoine Winfield Jr. has been all over the place. He's been the do-it-all guy, the Swiss Army knife, whatever you want to call him. And last week against the Lions, we didn't hear his name. I think he finished the game with 2 solo tackles, 4 total tackles. But Todd Bowles needs to get back to letting Antoine do what Antoine does, and that is disrupt every aspect of the opposing offense. He's dropping back in coverage. He is crashing the box during run plays. He is blitzing from everywhere. He is doing everything for this Buccaneers defense. And when Antoine is rolling, that defense is unstoppable because Levante is still going to be Levante. Devin is still going to be Devin. Vita is still going to be Vita. You have Kalijah Cansey, who said that last week against the Lions still felt like the preseason to him because he only played 11 plays in Week 1 and then missed the following 4 weeks. So last week was his first complete game in the NFL. And so these guys are going to be themselves always. And if Todd Bowles can dial up Antoine being that everything guy for the Bucs, it's going to be a long day for the Falcons.
You sound real confident.
This matchup right here is going to be the key to all of it.
Man, this right here just made my head hurt.
Why y'all didn't have to do this to me? I was having a good day.
For real, man. But like it's oh man.
Yeah.
That's a nightmare. That's a nightmare.
I mean, yeah, like James pretty much said, like Vita Vea is Vita Vea, and like he is there to occupy that space. This is why Tampa, when you see how they play the Falcons the last few years, the double A gap blitz is what been killing the Falcons offensive line for like the last few years.
Todd Bowles know our offensive line is the right side has been, youthful because Caleb McGarry and Chris Lindstrom. Our center since Alex Mack left has just been wide open like a turnstile. And then especially our left guard too. So most of the time when we've been playing the Buccaneers for the past few years, like when they get pressured, they get it right up the middle.
See, everybody in the chat right now is got their head bowing, just like, please, Drew, just have a decent. you gonna have to step up. That everybody else is here saying. Ben Floyd talking about make sure he eat his damn Wheaties. Yeah,
Wheaties ain't gonna save him. He needs some cement shoes. Go to the mall and tell them, look, find some cement shoes. That's exactly what he'll need because he's gonna get pushed all over the. Look, it's gonna be a nightmare.
Shoes and some PEDs.
He needs something, but that ain't working.
Damn, not the PEDs, man. You try to get the man suspended.
Man, win by any means, man.
All right. So my I'm gonna let you go next. So Ju, same question, man. Defensive spotlight for the Falcons that you're looking to be a highlight this week. Who you got? Oh, wait a minute, Ju, you mean
Mike?
You might.
Mike said it earlier. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. We hear you right now.
Jeff Okudah. Jeff Okudah is going to be the spotlight in this game. He's been playing really well, but Mike talked about it. The Buccaneers on offense, if you guys have watched any of their games, and I checked out a couple of their games this season, they haven't really ran the football well. So everything is quick passes. Everything is about the passing game. If you can shut down Godwin and, and Evans, those are the two guys that's been making that offense go. Baker's getting the ball out of his hands quick. Those guys are making plays. So it's going to come down to that second corner, and Jeff Okudah is going to have his hands full because we know usually we don't have our guys travel. They might have AJ travel in this game, but I don't know who they'll put them on, whether it's Evans or Godwin. If it was me, I probably would put him on Godwin and
Yeah.
then just have Okuda match up against Evans because Evans is long and tall, kind of like Okuda, and Godwin's a little shifty. So Jeff Okuda is a guy that wants to get physical. And one thing that I could say about Jeff Okuda that he's done well this season, if you watched last week's game, he's getting up in your face in these press man situations, and he throws off the timing between the quarterback and wide receiver. So I think in this game, he's going to be key. If Jeff Okuda can play that press man, and if our defensive line can get home, because it's really going to be about how fast we can get home and get to Baker, because Baker's not holding on to the football. He's 3-step dropping and letting that thing go. So in this game, we got to press up and we got to hope that Brady, Calais, AK, Bud Dupree, those guys get home. Yo, Mike,
I don't know what's up, Mike. What's going on with everybody, Mike, today?
That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
know. Man, go to Krispy Kreme and get me donut,
Look,
man. Anyway,
I just have a question. I want to do it a little different this time. I want to actually give James. I want to ask him, who do you feel that the Bucs should really focus on in this game, like game plan?
Against the Falcons offense,
Mhm.
I would like to say they need to focus on Drake London because they have had really, really tough times against opposing teams' number one receivers. Outside of Olave's one catch for 4 yards in week 4, every number one receiver that the Buccaneers have faced has gone for over 100 yards each week. That was A.J. Brown's coming out party for the season after he struggled for the first 2 weeks and he blows up on Monday Night Football. Justin Jefferson was Justin Jefferson in week 1. There's nothing you're going to do about that. But even as god-awful as Justin Fields was to open up the season, DJ Moore still went over 100 yards in that game. And then this past week, Amon-Ra St. Brown, over 100 yards, career high in receptions. So I want to say Drake London. I'm going to say Bijan Robinson. And it's because, and I was super high on Bijan Robinson coming out. I was less than pleased that he went to Atlanta. But not only is he just a phenomenal running back, and he's that bruiser, he's that guy that, he may only get 2 or 3 yards early on in the game, but hitting him's going to hurt. And come the fourth quarter, those 2-3 yards are going to turn into 7-8 yards. But on top of that, he is so good out of the backfield as a receiver and adds another element to what you're facing on offense. Because, all due respect, Atlanta just apparently remembered that they have Kyle Pitts. So he really hasn't been somebody to worry about because they never throw him the ball. For whatever reason, they're like, oh, we have Kyle Pitts, but there's Jonnu Smith. So let's just give him the ball for no, solid reason. But with Bijan Robinson and, to an extent, Tyler Algier, even Cordarrelle Patterson, they're all really good receivers out of the backfield. So that adds another wrinkle, and you get Bijan the ball in space, and he gets those one-on-ones, that's going to turn into these big explosive chunk plays, right? So it's going to be on Devin White. It's going to be on Levante David. It's going to be on Antoine Winfield Jr. to make sure that Bijan's not getting 10, 12, 16 yards a clip, either running the ball or catching the ball out of the backfield. I'm fine with Drake London getting his. I would go ahead and say he's probably going to end up 8 receptions, 104 yards, because that's just what we've seen happen against this Buccaneers secondary. Even though, and I love Carlton Davis, Jamel Dean has underperformed this year, in my opinion, but Carlton Davis does overall a really good job, but he's not going to shadow him all over the field. So if Drake London is lining up all over the place, then that responsibility is going to fall on Jamel Dean at some points. It's going to fall on undrafted rookie Christian Izzian. So I expect Drake London to have a solid day. It's Bijan that you have to worry about and prevent those explosives so the defense can get off the field.
All right. I got another question for you, James.
Yeah.
Dave Cannell, he's your new offensive coordinator. He took over for Leftwich this season. What's your thoughts about him so far?
I am a huge fan of Dave Canales. And the thing that you have to remember, even though the Buccaneers have struggled in some aspects of their offense, especially the running game, 28th in the NFL, they're only averaging 78.8 yards per game. And he's come out and said, I'm going to be stubborn about the run. I'm still going to run the ball. Even if it's not working, I'm still going to do it. But Dave Canales brings so much energy and so much creativity and ingenuity that only 5 games in, heading into his 6th game as an offensive coordinator, there's still things that he's learning. And there's still things he's adapting to. And everything that he is seeing as an offensive coordinator, he's seeing for the first time. So it's going to be a little bit of a process, but I will say, you know, give credit where credit is due. Even though he's new, even though he's a rookie OC, a rookie play caller, all of it, he does such a good job of adapting to the game in front of him. And unlike what we saw with Byron Leftwich last year, unlike what we saw with Dirk Cutter and
I'm bringing that man up. Dirk Cutter trash.
Some of these other guys in the past, you know, they don't continue to say, this is what my offense is, this is what we're doing, figure out how to make it work. Dave Canales will adjust to what's going on, and he will continue to evolve the game plan throughout the game. That's how they were able to come back against the Minnesota Vikings. It was how they were able to, you know, do what they did to the New Orleans Saints in the second half of the game. They've been a second half team throughout the season, and a lot of that is on the shoulders of Dave Canales saying, you know, sitting down with Baker, sitting down with the leaders of his offense and going, all right, this isn't working. This isn't working. How can we shake things up? How can we change some things and get ourselves a long, sustained scoring drive?
The reason why I asked that is because he worked under he coached up under Pete Carroll for years in Seattle, and then I guess a couple of years at USC.
Yeah.
So experience with Russell Wilson when Russell Wilson was in his prime, and he's taking that knowledge and bringing it over to Tampa Bay. You know, I wanted to know how he's doing for you guys. So.
Yeah, I really do think he's been fantastic. And early on, they were already talking about, you know, could Dave Canales end up being a head coach somewhere already? I think it's a little early for that kind of talk, especially for a team only averaging 18 points a game. But, you know, you take into account, you know, all of the growing pains and the learning curve. And hopefully the Bucs can hang on to Canales for quite a few years. I think he could end up being one of the better offensive coordinators in the league.
And then I just bring up Dirk Cutter.
Yeah, we don't bring him up like that in these parts.
I can bring up Mike Smith too. I mean, do we want to collectively talk about how that was?
We can bring up. Hold on. We can bring up Raheem Morris.
Mike Smith was a dumpster fire for Tampa too. This is a collective therapy session about how bad these coaches were.
Feng Shui.
we every time anything goes wrong on this show, we call it Dirk Cutter. All right, this
You know, I might adopt that on Locked On Bucs. I don't.
I just don't understand the Glazer family, man. Y'all had Lovie Smith. All right,
so bad. And then he leaves the Bucs and he goes and tanks my beloved Illini. For those of you watching and can see the block.
I'm glad he did that because I'm a Michigan fan.
I'm a Michigan fan Thanksgiving weekend every year. Can we get along? You know, can we agree on that?
What'd you say?
Yeah, I'm a Michigan fan Thanksgiving weekend every year. I live directly in between Columbus and Cincinnati, Ohio. Okay, I am surrounded constantly by Suckeye fans, and I can't deal with it. So
my family's from Dayton. My family's from Dayton, so I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
And so I love Michigan Thanksgiving weekend every year, but this block eye behind me was presented to my granddad when he was an I-man. He set the school record in the mile when he attended University of Illinois. So I had to watch Lovie Smith torpedo the Buccaneers. And I will never forget the moment they announced that he was hired. My dad texts me and goes, "Haven't we suffered enough?" No. It's going to take the number 3 pass defense and make them dead last in D1 college football.
But he did recruit some guys there, and like
he did.
Illinois almost beat us last year, and those because of Lovie Smith kids that he recruited there.
We'll give a little credit to the transfer portal too.
Yeah, but hey, still.
Transfer portal is a bug.
Mm-hmm.
But
I at least see that in the chat, the Falcons fans are enjoying me calling Ohio State suck eyes.
Yeah, we say that a lot. We say that a lot.
Good.
No love for Ohio State.
Well, that sounds about right because we usually call them all those
bombs, trash, garbage, all of that.
All those athletes university. That's what we
athlete. I call it athlete U. That's what I call it.
All right, so I got a fun question for everybody. James, I want you to go ahead and chime on this. We know the Tampa Bay Buccaneers has a couple Super Bowl wins. Which one was the most satisfying? And the reason why I'm asking this is I want to see what your thoughts as a Buccaneers fan from that 03, that 02, 03 team with that defense that's one of the greatest of all time.
Ooh.
Or this previous one with Tom Brady.
I would have to say, as a fan, it would have to be Super Bowl 37. Because as I've done this, I followed the Buccaneers since 1995. When that's when I became a fan of theirs, and I've been doing the media stuff for going on 10 years now. Locked On Bucs, I think I'm at 6 or 7 years, and the more I've stayed in this, the more I've really removed myself from the fan side of it because I have to take an unbiased angle to what I do. If I'm not unbiased in my evaluation of the Buccaneers, I'm not being fair to the people that read my work or listen to my show. So as a fan, watching the Buccaneers get screwed in 99 against the Rams on the Bert Emanuel catch call, when they held the greatest show on turf to 11 points in their stadium, that was gut-wrenching. And then watching them continuously fall short against the Eagles. And then to do what they did at the Vet with Rondé Barber's pick 6 to seal everything and then go on. And the Super Bowl wasn't even a game.
Right.
That was so unbelievably satisfying as a fan. On the flip side, having done this basically since 2014, the first thing that I really wrote about was, why the Bucs should not draft Johnny Manziel and why they should draft Mike Evans. The Super Bowl 55 was an incredible experience because, and I know a lot of people don't normally say something like this, but I was thankful for COVID in that moment because as somebody that covers the Buccaneers in Ohio, I had media access during the lead up to the game. I was talking to the Bucs players. I was talking to the Chiefs players. I was in the post-game press conferences from this studio right here, getting to talk to the players. And that's not an opportunity I would have been afforded otherwise. So that was an incredibly satisfying moment as a professional getting to do this. So a long-winded way of saying, as a fan, I'm more thankful to have seen Super Bowl 37, but where I am in my life now, I thoroughly enjoyed Super Bowl 55 more.
Okay.
A backup question to that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I have to get it. I have to get you. So with that being stated, we have a guy that's actually our team president now. And that guy is Rich McKay.
Mm-hmm.
We have Falcons fans who say that he's pretty much pretty useless here in Atlanta. That he's not a genius. He really doesn't know much about football. He's Arthur Blank's pretty much DuBois toy. What are your thoughts on Rich McKay.
Rich McKay is the vanilla ice cream of team presidents. He's never going to do anything that wows you, but he's all reliable, I guess is the best way to put it. And like anybody, he's going to make his mistakes. And Buccaneers fans are going to be thankful for what McKay did for the Bucs when they ended up, getting to that first Super Bowl and everything that came with that. And, he's helped bring the Falcons some success, right? Because he was president for, one Super Bowl appearance.
Right.
And, he was bringing stars to Atlanta. He was bringing in Julio Jones and bringing in Roddy White and bringing in these players. I don't think under his leadership, a franchise would win another Super Bowl. I think with Tampa, it was the perfect storm of everything coming together rather than a direct result of what he did. So I don't hold any ill will towards Rich McKay, but I also think that the Falcons are going to be stuck in this weird purgatory until they get someone in that can elevate the franchise.
Okay.
That's a that's a media answer. I want James. Okay, that's such a media. You're such a professional with that. I need some bull crap. Okay, just call him vanilla ice cream. He's vanilla ice cream with sprinkles on top. That's basically what you're saying.
Basically, yeah. I personally don't hold any ill will towards Rich McKay. I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he's doing the job the best he can. I just don't think he's that great at the job. He's average.
Okay.
He's average. And if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. So when you're average, you're leaving everyone that you're in charge of in purgatory. So, I'm sure Bucs fans still continue to love Rich McKay because they are stuck in that realm and it doesn't really bother Bucs fans what he's done in Atlanta, but at the same time, I think he's a good dude. Brady gave the refs a look on that Grady Jarrett set. It is what it is, Here's a perfect example for those in the chat that watched the Bucs Lions game last week, and you might have, knowing that the Bucs were coming up and it was the game of the week or whatever. First quarter, Aiden Hutchinson hits Baker Mayfield when his cleat is a half of an inch above the sideline as he's voluntarily running out of bounds, and nothing happens. Last year, that's a call the Buccaneers get. It doesn't happen anymore.
The Tom Brady rule is in null and effect.
Y'all don't get no more passes.
Yeah, that's a call that Mahomes is going to get. That's a call that Tua's going to get. That Hurts, Josh Allen, those guys are going to get that call because they're the super. Aaron Rodgers is going to get that call. Baker Mayfield's not getting that call. Desmond Ritter's not getting that call. No quarterback in the NFC South is getting that call, but it is what it is. As I said, I've watched this team now for almost 30 years, and I'm not going to complain about a less than certain roughing the passer call that the Buccaneers benefited from because I have watched decades of crap calls go against the Bucs. So I'll take what I can get.
All right. I know you kind of strapped for time, James, man. We got one more.
We appreciate it. We truly appreciate that, thing.
Like I said, you got about 5 more minutes with us right quick, man. Or you got to get up on out of here.
I can give you a couple more minutes for sure. Yeah.
Okay. And as we already know, Tampa Bay Buccaneers is one of those franchises, just like the Falcons, who really wasn't known for winning shit until later on in life. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, started 0-26. And I do believe that statistically, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the worst winning percentage of any professional team. Not professional football, professional team. But they got 2 Lombardis. So
right.
You know, it is what it is. But yeah, overall, not really known for winning anything outside of 2 seasons.
All right. So who is your favorite player?
Derek Brooks.
Oh, yeah.
No hesitation. Derek Brooks.
There wasn't no hesitation on that one.
None.
Second place is John Lynch. You know, I loved Lynch when I was growing up, but Derek Brooks was the complete package, like without a doubt. And you go back, especially to those early 2000 years, and I am going to have to sprinkle a little salt in some wounds here, but I remember when the Atlanta Falcons were the hottest thing in the nation because of Michael Vick. And Michael Vick was one of my all-time favorite players to watch. But never once, as a Buccaneers fan, was I scared of Michael Vick because of Derek Brooks. Derek Brooks' sole job in those games against the Falcons was spy Michael Vick, and it worked every time. And a guy that was that size, keeping up with somebody with the speed of Michael Vick to eliminate the rushing aspect of his game, he was a first ballot Hall of Famer for a reason.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I think Derek Brooks was kind of like the prototype of what the linebackers of today's game is now. I mean,
yeah.
I would say like hey Jude, man, I'll let you go ahead next, like as far as favorite player on the Bucs that you've seen. What you got for us, Jude?
You know what? I usually go with players from the on the defensive side of the ball, but I'm actually going to say Mike Evans because to me, Mike Evans is underappreciated. Like this dude is a walking 1,000-yard receiver. Mm-hmm. So as much as for whatever reason, I don't know if it's because he plays for the Buccaneers, he's a guy that kind of goes overlooked. I believe it's 8 straight seasons of 1,000 yards. When it's all said and done, this guy's going to have a gold jacket. Let's just be real about it. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. Yeah. So as many as the guys, like I was a big Simeon Rice fan. You guys know I love the defensive line. He was a freak coming off the edge, but I'm starting to gain more and more respect for Mike Evans because his name is not out there. Even though the league is about quarterbacks, wide receivers, he doesn't get talked about for whatever reason. Even when he was playing with Tom Brady, he doesn't really get talked about. When you say who's the best wide receiver in the league or a top 10 wide receiver, Mike Evans' name rarely comes up, even though he has the stats to back it up. So I got to get that man his flowers. I mean, ever since he's came out of college, this dude is a walking 1,000-yard receiver. So you got to get that man his credit. And when it's all said and done, I really feel like he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer because the consistency. We always want to talk about the Jamar Chase and all of these young guys coming out, but this guy's a consistent 1,000-yard receiver. So that's crazy. Like the numbers he's putting up are crazy.
Mm-hmm. All right. What you got, Don? What you got?
Y'all already know who I'm about to say.
Just ask him what his favorite food is and to get it over with.
Y'all already know I'm gonna say Tom Brady. Look, I'm a Michigan fan, so hey, he really helped y'all win another Super Bowl. I hate to say it as a Atlanta Falcon fan, but he literally helped y'all. What? I'm just saying, like it's just Tom Brady is my favorite Buck. However, outside of him, I was a huge Rondé Barber fan.
Nice.
So Rondé Barber was good, and then I'm also a huge fan of Leroy.
We didn't ask you to do 12 of them. We said one.
I also had to bring. Look, y'all talking about Tom Brady. Yeah, Tom Brady's one, but the other one is Rondé Barber, and my third one has to be Leroy Selman.
Who?
Leroy Selman.
Yeah, you ain't never heard of Leroy Selman?
No, I didn't hear what you said.
I was about to be real offended saying who to Leroy Selman. We're okay now.
All right, yeah. I'll tell you right now.
That's their version of Tommy Nobis.
Yeah. Well,
We get it.
well,
We appreciate we appreciate you.
I'll say it like this. And as a Falcon fan, I say this. One of my favorite Buccaneers players was one of the major reasons why I started watching football, and that was Mike Allstott.
Love Mike Allstott. How do you not love Mike Allstott? He's one of the few guys ever in the NFL where every single person knew, whether you were a spectator, whether you were a coach, whether you were a player, like everybody, he's getting the ball. Can't stop him.
But
he was fun, man.
But what was crazy, what a lot of people don't realize about him was early in his career, he actually was a good pass catcher, but since when they moved him to fullback, he had to play a role. And this is why I show fullbacks in the NFL love in today's game, because that's one of the positions that get no love. Just like what Juice said about Mike Evans not getting any love, which is a damn shame. Fullbacks don't get no love no more, man. But these guys make it happen for your favorite running backs.
Yeah. And Allstott and Dunn as a pair, that was something else. And I, before I get out of here, you guys went around and you named your favorite Buccaneers. I'm not going to cheat and say that my all-time favorite Falcon was Warrick Dunn, because I do feel like that's cheating since he started with the Bucs and then went back to the Bucs. I will say I was too young to watch Deion as a Falcon. My first recollection of Deion Sanders was with the 49ers and the Cowboys, so I'm not going to say that either. It is Michael Vick. Without a doubt, watching Michael Vick play football was one of the most exciting things throughout my teenage years. And on top of that, even beyond the Falcons years, watching his, for lack of a better term, his redemption arc to come back and play with the Eagles. And then, he finished with the Steelers. That was kind of whatever. But even with the Eagles years, he was electric. And anybody who doesn't appreciate what Michael Vick did and the way he changed the quarterback position forever. You look at today's quarterbacks and you go, that's because of Vick. And so to me, he's probably going to go down as the greatest Falcon ever, in my opinion.
A lot of people feel the way you do.
I disagree with that.
That's
Only
fair.
for the simple. No. I'm just saying this in a respectful way as far as the greatest Falcon. But like you said, the impact of what Michael Vick did, and like you said, it it galvanized a franchise that was on the cusp. Because everybody remember them outside of that 98 Super Bowl year, everything was pretty much blacked out.
Yeah.
I'll say this about Vic, and we appreciate you coming on, James. I'm already following you on Locked On Sports Podcast, Locked On Bucks, excuse me, Locked On Bucks, as well as your personal profile too. So, we truly appreciate that, man. You want to give us some, some final takes?
Yeah. Like I said at the top, you can find my written work over at bucksnation.com, where I'm the deputy editor. That's the SB Nation page covering the Buccaneers. Locked On Bucks 5 days a week. On tomorrow's episode, I'm joined, as I mentioned earlier, by Aaron Freeman for our crossover episodes. He and I talk about Bucks and Falcons. And of course, you all are welcome to join the live chat on YouTube when I go live after the game. I usually go on about 2 hours after the game for an immediate reaction. All I ask is that you be nice in the comments. We had some Lions fans jump in last week that got a little nasty, but yeah, on Twitter at @JYarko_Bucks or at Locked On Bucks. And I expect a really interesting, I'm not going to say exciting. It's going to be a really interesting game. It's going to be ugly because that's what the Buccaneers have done this year. They have played ugly football. They have caused their opponents to play ugly football. So it's going to be a grind. But again, as a guy living in Dayton who followed Desmond Ridder at the University of Cincinnati, I hope he succeeds. I hope he's able to kind of, continue to grow, continue to develop and learn and improve as a quarterback because he's a good kid. He really, truly is. So with that, gentlemen, I want to thank you all so much for having me on. I had a lot of fun chatting with all of you. And Palpatine, order 66, baby, all the way.
That's what I'm talking about. That's my dog. Oh boy, he's talking my language.
No, man. Hey man, this is fun, man. So we want to go ahead and just wind it down for the night, y'all.
Yes, sir, man.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, James, man. Hey, we'll be over there to chat it up with you.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Oh yeah, we got another one coming up in December. I'll see you guys then.
Hey, that's why I said. That's what happens when you're a division rival. We get to see you twice. Mike probably gonna have a stormtrooper out front of this.
Dude, I got a whole ass Darth Vader helmet that'll change my voice. Do not tempt me.
Hey, I bet you won't.
Oh boy,
I bet you won't.
All right,
man.
We'll see you in December.
Hey,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We definitely
all right, guys.
Thanks so much.
We'd like to have you back on the next time we play again, man. If you're down for it.
Absolutely, yeah. Just you know the Twitter. Hit me up and we'll get this done again.
Sure.
Okay. I appreciate that.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
All right, you too, man.
Oh man,
that's funny. Lord have mercy. All right, y'all, man. Hey, look, I know we didn't really get the roll call going, but like I said, let's go ahead and shout out a few of the names in here. Like I said, Dre Murphy, D. Coleman, got the therapist in here. I saw Sonya in here earlier. Big Ant, Anthony White, Southside, William Amy. Workflow Dre, hey, definitely shout out to Workflow Dre. Like I said, hey, that's one of the brothers that hit the cash app on your boy 6-Man K Style. So I definitely want to show some love to Workflow Dre. If y'all don't know who that is, if you saw the We in the City with It video, was shot by him. So y'all make sure y'all go ahead and show him some love on Instagram and all other production. Well, I'm about to say all other production sites. I'm looking like, wait a minute, what the hell?
It's coming. You're right, it's coming.
Hit him on all the social media, man. You'll see what he's talking about. Like King Quest. Let's see, Prove It in the building. Brian Peoples, Terry Lloyd. The real Michael Walker's in the building. Let's see, James Overton. Matt D. Colbert, shut the hell. No, we're not doing that again. We is not doing that again. That boy disappeared after last year. I think he changed his whole YouTube channel too.
Look, I don't know. Maybe he on a private island, a private planet, like yeah. He ain't been seen since.
The schedule has been set for the season of who we bringing on. So sorry,
Look,
but I promise you that the people we bring on are going to be entertaining and informative.
Right.
So.
Nah, that dude was on some buzz. But all right, fellas, man, y'all go ahead and get your final words out of the way, man. Jude, let you go ahead and kick us off with the final word. Bless us.
Let me get myself off mute because we've been on mute all night.
It's all good.
Hey, man, I expect this to be a good game. Like he was saying, I really think it's going to be a defensive type of game. I don't really expect a whole lot of scoring in this game, just for the mere fact that if you've been watching the NFC South, the defenses are really running the South right now. Like you haven't really seen a lot of offenses putting up a lot of points. So in this game, I really think it's going to be a really tight game. We always know that NFC South games are always tight, no matter what the records are. So, in this game, I really feel like it's going to come down to, us not making mistakes. In the last week, we outgained them as far as yardage by a long shot. It came down to the 3 turnovers. So in this game, if we just protect the football run the football, and we've been playing solid defense the whole season. But this win the turnover battle, I really feel like that'll be the difference in the game. And then just score touchdowns in the red zone. Like that's what we've been struggling with. When you get down there in the red zone, run the football. I don't know what it is with Arthur Smith. For whatever reason, we get in the red zone, we want to pass the ball. Get that ball to Tyler Algier, get that ball to Bijan Robinson, and run at the run at that defense because we know Algier is he's tough to bring down, man. When you get in that red zone, get that ball to Tyler Algier. He'll get it across the goal line. But it's a mentality. So I really feel like in this game, it's gonna come down to what team doesn't make the mistakes and turn the ball over. Because that's what's killed us the last 2 weeks. Even though we beat the Texans, technically we could have lost that game too because they had 2 turnovers to our 0 turnovers. So we're gonna have to win the turnover battle, protect the football. We do that in this game and play solid defense. I really feel like we'll be 2-0. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if this is true or not, fellas, but tell me if I'm correct. Has Desmond Ritter won a away game since he's been with the Falcons?
Nah, not yet.
Not yet. So I really feel like this could be the game that he gets his first road victory, and it'll be big if we can get it on the road because we've been struggling to win on the road. So this will be a huge victory, and we know these games count as like 2, man. We got to get this NFC South victory, and it'll be big if we can get this one on the road. That'll give this team a lot of confidence. So I expect Desmond Ritter to get his first away victory as a starting quarterback this Sunday.
Okay. I hope so, man.
Jesus. Hell, if y'all want to do something different and want to experiment, hell, goddamn, get a ball to Keith Smith on the goal line. Something.
You would say that.
The thing is that makes too much sense, though, in my opinion. But
I mean, we can't be running whatever the hell that play Cordero Hodges had the other game. We can't be running that. Nah, we good. But go ahead, Dom, man. Go. What's your final word for the night, man?
My final word is not going to be nothing about food or football.
Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you.
Here's the thing, man. Everybody got to put some respect on Tweet's name, man. Tweet was fine, man. I don't know if y'all remember Tweet back in the day. She was with
yeah. Tweet, yeah.
Tweet.
The one with Missy Elliott. Yeah,
yes.
The singer.
Oh.
She was fine back in the day. I need y'all to stop disrespecting my woman.
See, I was gonna go there, but I'm not. I'm gonna just leave it alone.
Go on and say what you got to now. Go on and say what you got to say.
No, sir.
Go on and say what you got to say.
I prayed. I just got finished praying. God don't want me to be mean.
But God said you should hold your tongue. You should confess.
Mm-hmm.
It said it in the Bible.
Yeah.
It said it in the Bible.
Yeah, it says in the Bible, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. So,
man, how are we gonna have a biblical argument? And we got a minister in here. Y'all have, and you two have.
I know. I'm respecting I'm respecting the pastor. Okay. I'm not
a Bible study with the heavy.
Lord have mercy. All right, Mike, man. What's your final word for the night, man?
I actually did a study, man, on the Falcons offense and Desmond Ritter versus Matt Ryan. And something interesting, I'm not going to get into it. You just have to wait for the video to come out. And me and K-Style may just do entire show on it. Because I think this is very interesting just to break down the offense in its entirety and what's going wrong, what's the positive, the negatives, the things that they're not doing, a lot. But I'll give you one thing. I'll give you one thing. As far as the quarterback position, no, squash that. That's too easy. The wide receiver position, inexperience, man. It's a lot of inexperience, and these guys are hesitating for whatever reason. Got to figure that out. But the wide receiving is something that I'm really focusing on right now, and it's a lot. It's not whether these guys are good enough. I think these guys aren't comfortable with the routes that they're running. So they have to bring in guys who specialize in certain routes. So I'll leave that as a cliffhanger. You guys want to go look at it yourself, but focus on the wide receivers and the tip and the routes that these guys are running. And I think that's the issue that is one of the issues with this Falcons offense that is causing a lack of chemistry. So focus on the wide receivers when you watch the film.
Okay. All right. So my final word for the night, y'all, man, is ain't no damn word. Get it done.
Get her on. That's how you
Get her done, boy. They got to get it done, man. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, we can talk about X's and O's. We can talk about if they're going to pass the ball a lot or they're going to run the ball a lot. At the end of the day, you got to get it done. Whichever way you got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
If you got to kick a player in the nuts under a pile or something like that, knock his ass, you got to get it done. That's more than can be said. That more can't be said like that. Because, like I said, that is the goal for this team this year. Is we have to have better division play. We have to play better against our division. And like you said, you got an interesting stretch of games here. We starting off with Tampa Bay. This is the new part of the season. So your asses, so asses need to get it done. Put that shit behind us. Forget what everybody else is saying. Act 2 starts now. So until next time, people, we ain't here to play.
Oh no.
We here to stay.
Oh yeah. Dig it.
You ain't gotta go home.
But you got to get the hell up out of here and go get me an 8-piece from Popeyes. Oh yeah.
This motherfucker was here on the goddamn 8-piece.
Just always just
Just gonna throw it all.
all the time. Just like it's food.
Out there, he gonna get about 3 biscuits, and he gonna eat 1 biscuit with no drink and shit.
But I don't even eat. See, my mouth ain't designed like that. I can't even eat them biscuits. Them biscuits so damn dry. You gotta have like 30 gallons of tea just to wash down 1 bite of a biscuit.
Man, they had a video. I don't know if anybody follow a dude named Christian Johnson.
Oh yeah, the dude swallowed 1 biscuit whole.
That boy swallowed a whole Popeye biscuit whole. That boy pulled him in like, okay, so I like this 3-piece right here. This boy pulled a biscuit out.
The whole biscuit in his mouth. And like he put it in his mouth like it was annihilator.
I said, bro, ain't no goddamn way. No, I like no.
Just pulling biscuits out of their pocket. I don't get it.
Hey man, shit's dry as hell. Hey, look. Deuces, y'all.
Popeyes biscuits. Good God Almighty.